Well, howdy everybody. So we are playing with some more VEVOR tools here. This is kind of interesting. I'm over here on the workbench next to my main small drill bit sharpener, which is this SRD. I like that really well. And then VEVOR sent me this, and they actually sent this to me a couple of weeks ago, and so I've had a chance to use it quite a bit more before I've even shot this review than what I normally would. So this is going to be kind of interesting. So just give you a rundown of this thing. First off, I got to say this is, let's see here, what model is this? The MR13B. Remember, right, there's an MR13A. I can't remember exactly what the difference is. This is the one they sent me, but this one does 2 millimeters to 13 millimeters, which basically means 1/8 inch to 1/2 inch, you know, in English. I mean, 13's a little over half. I haven't done the math on that. It might be pushing 9/16. No, that's pretty close to half. Yeah, just a fuzz over half, not quite 9/16. You might be able to squeak it out to 9/16. I haven't tried it, but really, this drill sharpener's objective is drilling or sharpening drill bits in a standard 1/16 to 1/2 inch drill set. So anyway, let me get this thing set up and I will show you how it works. But the big thing I'd say is it's built really solid. No wrinky plastic stuff in this thing, metal. It's using these double taper collets to grab drill bits. I really like that. All metal holder. The biggest thing I would compare this to as far as just overall simplicity is like the Drill Doctor. My dad's got one of those. That thing's a piece of junk. This knocks the socks off from a Drill Doctor. But anyway, so it does a nice grind. It does everything from a 90 to a 140 degree angle here. But then it does split points. And it's kind of a strange system where you move pins around to adjust how big of a split point. I won't get into that a lot because the manual describes it, but really does a nice job of a legit split point. And then it comes with, let me get this opened up a minute, 2 different stones. So you've got one that's for the high-speed steel, tool steel, and then it comes with a second one here that is for using with carbide. I have not tried it on carbide yet, but I am pretty excited to give that a whirl just because I haven't actually got a drill sharpener set up that's got a stone that's rated for carbide in it. So anyways, I'll bring you back. I'll get this camera set up and show you the process of running it. Well, I've got this thing set up with got a few drill bits laid out here. I misspoke earlier. I said it was 1/16 inch up. Actually, 2 millimeters is a little bigger than 1/16. So it's, I didn't do the math on it, but 2 millimeters is probably starting you off at more like 3/32 or something like that. But so we're going to start off by touching up an 1/8 inch drill and just show you how this thing flies. So you've got these double taper collets. So this is the first thing you got to do is pop the collet into the holder, which some of them, they're a little tight, but that's a tendency that double taper collets have. They have a ball bearing down here at the bottom, by the way. It's got a, it's hard to describe here, but a little bit of a roll it in kind of lip. So you got to pay a little bit of attention to how and where you put this in. You can see that it's got a notch out there. So if you just go to hauling off fighting with it, you can fight with it a bit before you get in there. And some of that is the stuff that they don't overly explain in the manual. I mean, it's somewhat typical of some Chinese stuff that the manual is the worst part of the tool, to be honest with you all. Like, the machine is great, the manual is not so great. But at any rate, so what you do, they tell you in the manual, you turn this dial all the way to its lowest setting. This is what's setting the tool. So they want you to take these, the flutes that are on the drill bit and put them parallel with the flats on the side of this to start with. That just kind of gets you started. And then you dial this thing up to, you know, this is a 2 to 3, so we're kind of snug in it. We'll say we're a 3 millimeters. And then this has a flat and it's setting the depth of the drill and getting it, you crank it around until the flute is up against that, and then it acts as a holder when you snug this down. Now if you go too crazy tightening that up, you'll have trouble getting it out. And then you just take an eyeball and make sure that you're parallel. So then at this point, I'm set up to grind a 118 degree point. You literally just take this thing and slip her in here and go to grinding. So I don't push it real hard because I don't want to overheat the edge of the drill bit and anneal it. So I just kind of let it work its way in there. So there we've got a nice sharpen job, but then this is the feature that probably most sells me on this machine, is it does a bang up job. Now you can move the pins around. They've got a pretty decent description in the manual to show you what combination does what. But there we have got a just gorgeous, perfect split point created now. And I have been using these, to be honest with you all, I have been using this drill sharpener anytime that I need to sharpen a drill bit that I want to use by hand. Like, it's a little more monkeying around than the SRD is, you know, just to get set up, but it does such a nice split point and it drills so nice that any drill bit that I'm intending to use by hand, I automatically use this with. So, trick here is you need it in there so that it's snug enough to stay where you put it, but loose enough that you can push it around. So what was it? That was a 5 to 6, and I was quite small for that. So we're going to go over to the 5, and then we're going to get this thing spun in here. So what it lets you do is get it stuffed in there. And then you just have to remember, okay, I need to get bottomed out and spun up fully clockwise against the stop. And then you can come in, snug that up. Verify that your flutes on it are parallel with the flats on the side of this thing, and away we go. I'm sure you could get a lot more aggressive with the material removal rate than what I am. So there you can see we've got a nice job done on the sharpening, and then we drop in here. Look at that. Just gorgeous split point created. I'm very impressed with the job it does. This adjusts your center line. Now let's bump up, and we're gonna grab, this is, I don't know if it's 2164, so we're approaching 3/8 size. A little smaller than that, I guess, but anyway, we'll go ahead and sharpen another one, and then we'll bump her up to get a 1/2 inch drill bit in here and show you what she'll do all the way on the top end. Yeah, I need to be the next size smaller. I'm gonna set her on about number 8. Check the parallel, looks good. Nice. Once again, bang up job of putting on a nice looking split point. Just absolutely fantastic. These drill amazing. I've been, let's say, hand drilling with them. All right, now let's see if we can find ourselves something closer to that 1/2 inch size and pop it in here once. I'm digging around in my junk drill bits collection here. What's this one? This is some big clunky old drill bit. That's actually a little bit over. Should have brought my caliper over. The shank on this thing's so chewed up I can't tell what it said. But let's, yeah, you guys are going to get to see the full effect. That's going to be the biggest one I've ever tried sharpening. So I was studying the design of this, trying to decide, okay, why doesn't it do bigger drill bits? And what it boils down to is the face of that stone isn't wide enough to go bigger than that. And that's what, this will be interesting to see if this does a respectable job of it. Like, this drill bit may be beyond its capacity. It's looking more all the time like it is because it doesn't want to, yeah, it doesn't want to slide through there. We better drop a size or two here. Here's a 7/16. We'll go ahead and, no, I want to drill a half, or not drill, sharpen a 1/2 inch. I gotta dig around and find us a 1/2 incher or something close enough to a 1/2 incher. Reasonably give us a feel for what it's gonna do. think this one. There we are. There's a 1/2 inch. Now this has got some really janky hand sharpening job on it. I'm not quite sure why they've got it sharpened to such a shallow angle, but I've never tried one that is this goobered up before, so this will be a little bit of an experiment. So we're going to twist this up and say we're at about 12.5 millimeters. And then get this put in here. Spin that around against stop, snug her up. My suspicion is this may take more than one sharpening round because this is a very shallow angle. I'm not sure we're removing enough material to get that all in one pass. I guess we are, because it's setting the depth off the point. I didn't think about that, so. So in theory, it should get it all in one swap. So this would be a definite worst case scenario as far as we're changing the angle on this drill bit. Boy, she's looking pretty spiffy, I gotta give them that. Now the only thing I'm curious about here, looking at it, it looks to me like, you know, I don't know what the right term for it is, but that my angle in the holder wasn't quite right because it was coming up against a flute in a spot that it didn't expect to be. Like, the relief angle ended up wrong. So we're gonna hit it, and this is what I'd kind of suspected, is that we'd need 2 rounds, but for a different reason than I thought. Looking good. All right, now let's try getting the look at that, would you? Just, I don't know if you can see that, but it's just about as close to a perfect split point as you could ever ask for. Just gorgeous job done. So anyway, I guess just to give you my final thoughts on this thing, just once again, $245 is what they're getting for this thing, and it's just doing a heck of a good job for what the thing costs. Got a depth adjustment here for your split point. That's controlling how far in your split point is coming, you know, as far as meeting or not meeting the middle, so it's adjustable. But just really straightforward, simple, easy to use tool that for the money, once again, is pretty good. I think one of these SRDs, last I checked, is $1,300. And I like it plenty well, but if I didn't already own that, I would definitely be buying one of these. And honestly, when VEVOR asked if I wanted to send me one of these, I thought, well, I'm not sure if I would actually use it because I've got that one. But now that I've used it a bit, I like the split points so well that basically this one has been doing all of my smaller drill bits. Now that one, I haven't attempted in this. This really is not set up to do center drills that great. Maybe you could do it with them, but there's a few things like that that would require some playing around. But as far as just drill bits and doing nice split points, this really is a good option. So anyway, that's my 2 cents, guys. I guess for what it's worth, I would say it's a well-built tool that does a good job for the money. So anyway, catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.